I thought, Chris, how do I get the 30-second countdown? Hang on. I thought I fixed it. Hang on. Oops, I messed up. I don't know if this is going to work. It makes me feel important having a 30-second countdown. It's kind of like a joke for myself. Good morning. Check out MJ the Musical. Did y'all see Michael Jackson on my back? My son yesterday, this is kind of a crazy story, but for Christmas, he gave me tickets to, because he knows I like musicals, and he gave me tickets to the MJ musical. And I'm taking my glasses off, so I'm blind. The comments are for y'all. So he gave them to me before Christmas. Well, I kind of forgot what I was going to. Okay. I got a lot on me. Okay. And we were in the car, and I was scared to tell him I didn't know where we were going. Because my kids think I have dementia. Okay. Because I forget a lot. And so we were driving down the road, and I said, hey, I forgot what we're doing. Like, I know we're going to a musical, but I forgot what it is. He went, are you serious right now? I said, be patient with me. I can't remember. I was like, you're going to get old one day too. And he was like, I paid $100 a piece for these tickets, and you can't even remember where we're going. I said, no, I don't remember. And he was like, Mom, we're going to the Michael Jackson musical. I went, are you serious? And he was like, how do you not remember that? I'm like, because I've been through a lot. I just didn't remember I knew we were going to a musical, but I couldn't remember what the musical was about. Y'all, it was fantastic. It was so good. The dancing was spot on. But I will tell you, so when Michael Jackson was popular, I was in high school, okay? And it said 1984. So I think I was a sophomore in high school when when Thriller came out. Well, hang on. When I can remember, I don't know about y'all. I don't know how old you were when Thriller came out, but I remember being scared of that song. Like, if that song was playing in my bedroom and the lights were out, I was scared to go in my bedroom. Like, I was petrified of that song. And I can remember when MTV first came out, like, it was so popular. Do y'all remember that when MTV first came out and there were music videos? Like, oh my gosh, it was so cool. And I can remember when Thriller would come on MTV, and I was scared to death of those. I don't know if they were monsters, zombies, whatever you call them. I was scared to death. But there was a lot as I was sitting there watching the musical, there was a lot I did not know about Michael Jackson. And I think it was because I was so innocent. I was just a sophomore in high school, but I did not realize he was addicted to pills. I had no clue. And when he was in the musical being addicted to pills, I was like, he was addicted to pills? And then when his hair caught on fire, do y'all remember that? Like, they were talking about his pill addiction got worse because he was in so much pain from his scalp being on fire, and his pill addiction got even worse. I was oblivious to, I had no clue. And then parts of the show were talking about his father. And today I'm talking about bullying, okay? And in the show, it was almost as if his dad was a bully to him. And I was sitting there and I did not know. I knew his parents were strict. And I remember knowing his parents were Jehovah Witness. But that don't mean they're strict. Like, when I think of strict in religion, I don't think of the strict that I saw in the musical. And it was about his father saying, you can either work in the mill or you can push yourself every day. I realize these kids are outside playing, but you're going to sit here and practice because you're going to make something of yourself. And I was sitting there going, dang, his dad kind of bullied him. But then I was thinking about my own life and my parents. And I was thinking, like, Michael Jackson's story was they first discovered his talent when he was a young boy because he was in a talent show in first grade. Me too. That's where, like, when I was in first grade, and I talk about this in my children's program this summer, is when I was in first grade. I don't know if my mom taught me into it, but she probably did. Judy, you should be in the talent show. And I got on stage and sang Love Will Keep Us Together by Tony and Tennille. I sang that song and danced in first grade because at the time, my school was first through fifth grade or first through sixth grade. Because, back then, that's how it was. And so me and these older kids were on stage doing a talent show, and I won the talent show. And I was thinking about Michael Jackson, and he was in a talent show when he was in first grade, and he won the talent show. And I thought, I wondered if my parents bullied me like that, would I have gone to New York? Would I not be right here right now? I'd probably be too old to be on New York now. But would I have made it to Broadway? If my parents were like his parents and kind of bullied me, went, Judy, you're going to practice dance. You're going to get into singing lessons. You're going to go to all these musical camps. Like, if my parents did that to me, where would I be right now? But then I think about Michael Jackson and I think about his dad kind of bullying him to be somebody. You will be somebody. You will go to practice. You're going to do this. And like, I think his dad meant well. I don't know. But like I can see the stress of a young child, wanting to go out and play with his friends, but his dad wouldn't let him do it because he was going to you're going to either work in the mill with the other people and make no money, or you're going to get in here and practice your musical talent. But Michael resented him for pushing him that way. And I don't resent my parents for not pushing me, but I wish they'd have pushed me a little bit. But I don't think my parents realized. I do know that I have a talent for entertaining. No, it ain't singing because I can't sing a lick. And maybe it's not dancing. Maybe my parents were like, bless her heart, she wants to dance and she is awful at this. She ain't flexible. I don't know. But my whole life, I was in competitions and I always won them. Like I remember I went to dance camp one year. Maybe my parents did put me in dance camp. I don't know. I went to this camp and we had to get up and it was like they gave you a couple of 8 counts and they showed it to you a couple of times and then you got in front of the judges and had to perform it. I remember I did really well. As a matter of fact, I got to meet Michael Jackson's choreographer. I got to dance with him. I have a picture of me somewhere. I have to find it. But I actually danced with Michael Jackson's choreographer. I'm like, why did my parents push me? But maybe, I don't know if really back when I was a kid, the word bullying wasn't like, it wasn't really heard of, like times have changed. Like now talking about bullying is a big thing. But back when I was a kid, I never heard that word. I mean, parents spanking your tail, like that's what parents did. Nowadays, it's like, you get your kids taken away if you spank your kids. Like things are just different nowadays. But I was thinking about even in high school. You remember me telling you the story about I had gained so much weight and I couldn't fit in my uniform? I don't know how long y'all have been following me, but there was a time where I was a senior in high school and we went to competition and I had gained a ton of weight and I did not try on my uniform. And I get there and my uniform doesn't fit. It was horrible. Okay. Talking about some serious PTSD. Serious PTSD. Well, in this dance camp, you had to pick 2 people from your squad to get up and do a solo and perform. And you could wear anything you wanted to this. When we actually did the dance competition, I had to lay on the bed, suck in as far as I can and get my mom to try to zip up my uniform. It was horrible and embarrassing. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that story. We'll talk about that some other time. But they picked me to do the dance competition. and I won. And I actually got to go to New York to the parade for the Mercedes parade and dance in it. Now, I'm gonna tell you, my mom never took me there because I was very poor growing up. I didn't really know it, but my mom did not have the money to help me go to the Mercedes parade. But I actually won the spot to go to the Mercedes parade. And I thought, okay, well, I had to be somewhat good because I won the opportunity to dance with Michael Jackson's choreographer. I won the Mercedes parade. So, like, did it not go ding, ding, ding? Judy's really into dance. I was on a dance. I also tried out for a dance competition where there was a dance team that performed on TV every Saturday morning. I won a spot on that. I was on TV every single Saturday morning forever. And I was on this dance team. And I'm like, did my parents not go, hey, Judy's really enjoying this? But if my parents bullied me like Michael Jackson's dad did him, would I be popping pills right now because I was so stressed out? Instead, I'm not mad at my parents for not pushing me. I think I think both of my parents were very sick. They would not appreciate me saying this if they were alive. My dad was an alcoholic, and my mom was a single mom with 3 kids trying to make ends meet. And my parents couldn't afford to send me to special camps or send me to lessons, or as a matter of fact, my dance lessons were free. And the reason my dance lessons were free is because my mom babysat the dance teacher's son. So in exchange, I got my dance lessons for free. So I really believe in my heart that my parents did the best they could, but they just didn't have. Let's just, when it comes to arts, singing, dancing, painting, acting, theater, it's hard to make money in those fields. So that's probably why my parents didn't push me, because they were like, if she goes into dance, she gonna be dead broke. You know what I'm saying? But part of my passion of dance was I always wanted to open my own dance studio. Always. And I mean, that's like once I got a little bit older and realized I wasn't going to New York, I love dance. So I always dreamt of opening my own dance studio, but my parents never pushed me to do it. I guess because they couldn't help me financially to do, because it costs money to do that, right? So like they never really pushed me. And I'm the parent that's the complete opposite. Like when I realized, it was later in life when I realized that my youngest son had a talent of acting and singing and memorizing. He was in 8th grade when I realized it. Girl, listen, $3,000, I think it was, to send him to New York. When he was in high school, I sent him to New York City for the Film Academy. I was like, I don't care if I have to I'll do whatever it does to raise this money or to make the money to send him to camp. Like, I was determined to help him get on his feet. I had him in piano lessons. Like, I did everything. He was in a show choir in high school. It cost a lot of money. I was like, I'll figure it out. Like, because I didn't want to, but I didn't bully him. I didn't tell him he had to do it. He wanted to do it. But it seemed like in the Michael Jackson show that his father was mean about it. He didn't say, hey, you're so talented. I got your back. Tell me what you want to do. I mean, at a young age, Michael Jackson was being forced to do all this stuff. But his dad obviously saw a talent, you know? But then when Michael Jackson wanted to separate and go on his own, everybody was telling him he couldn't do it. He had dreams of doing these certain shows, and people were like, you don't need to do that. You're going to get hurt, or you're going to get, and it makes me think about my children's program that I'm doing this summer. Judy, you can't sing. Judy, you're going to get up in front of all these people and do this. Yes. Yes, I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to tell the truth about what it takes to run my farm. Yes. But you can't sing. I know. I know. But I'm doing it. I'm going to teach kids to get out of their comfort zone. Yes. It's a 30-minute show that I am not good at memorizing. I'm having to memorize this 30-minute program that the story is something I came up with. And I'm not going to say that I'm getting bullied, because I'm not. But it's like I came up with this idea. And I'm going to do it. But let's talk about what I do get bullied about. I love social media. I love sharing my testimonies. I love being a real person on social media. I love filming. I love editing. I love meeting new people. I love developing a friendship with people that I've never thought I would, like people I've never met in person. I'm developing friendships with. I love social media. But there's also a side of social media that's hard. And that's getting bullied. I don't just get bullied on social media. I get bullied in person, being a farmer. And all of this bullying is in my children's program. What do I get bullied about? Well, I don't know if things go viral on YouTube, because I've never had anything go viral. Like a video doesn't go viral with me on YouTube. I guess because I'm a very small channel on YouTube. I'm not really known. I'm different because I am a farm. A lot of people that follow farms, they expect to get homesteading, and I'm a different type of channel. And I'm trying to find my way because I'm hard. I'm hard to understand because I talk about mental health, but I'm a farm. And so when people first come to my channel, it's confusing. Why is this farm girl putting on makeup? Why is this farm girl talking about mental health? Why is this farm girl out there singing to her pig? I get bullied because I'm not a typical channel of farmsteading. I don't fit in the mold. When it comes to other platforms, even this platform, it's so confusing to me because the good things that I do not go viral at all. Nothing. The things that go viral, it's almost like I'm a dumb blonde. Things that go viral, right now, there's a video that's going viral on another platform. And what it is Bill Reynolds got his head stuck in the fence. And Leroy had Bill Reynolds by the leg. And I was out there when it happened. So I was on the scene in a second. And I got Bill Reynolds out of the fence. And I did a video. Well, it's going viral. And here comes the bullying. And used to, I would get my feelings hurt. And I remember Brooke helped me with this. Brooke from Cog Hill Farm. Something went viral, and Brooke, I deleted it. And Brooke goes, "Why did you delete that?" I said, "Because I'm getting beat up." She goes, Judy, that's how you get paid. Don't let them beat you up. So from then on, I said, okay, when people start bullying me, I won't delete it. Because the more they comment, the more you get paid. And it helps pay for your farm. But you have to sit here and almost get abused mentally. I remember talking to Ellie from Ellie Morrow, Lester's son. When I met him in person, he goes, "I can't read my comments," because he gets bullied like crazy. And he is like, "I can't read my comments, Judy." I was like, "Oh, I get you." I get you. Because if I sat and read the comments on a viral video, I would give up. I would be in a very, very deep, dark place if I read the comments on that post. And I'll tell you what really is difficult. This is what I don't understand. As a creator, there are other creators that, are a lot larger than me that have never talked to me. There's creators that are smaller than me that have never commented on my videos. They've never liked a video. They've never reached out to me behind the scenes. And all of a sudden on that video, these creators, some smaller than me, some larger than me, are coming out of the woodworks. And I'm like, I didn't even know they knew who I was. And all of a sudden they're commenting, telling me that I shouldn't have my donkey in with my goats. And I'm like, it makes you scratch your head, because you're like, you have never messaged me in my life. I didn't even know you knew who Sneed's Farmhouse was. As a matter of fact, I don't even really, I mean, I know your name, but I don't even know you. I've never watched your content. And you are going to comment on my video and tell me that I shouldn't have my donkeys with my goats. You don't even watch my page to know who my donkey is. And then I get stories from other content creators that are like, that's why I don't have my donkeys. I would never put my donkeys with my goats. I have them separated in this pen. I'm like, dude, you've never spoke to me. You've never commented ever on anything good that I do ever. Do you know what I do for my community? Do you have any clue? All the videos of the group home being at my farm, you've never commented on those videos. You've never said, Judy, I love what you're doing. Judy, it warms my heart to see this group in your farm every week smiling and being themselves. I don't get comments like that. I don't get private messages going, you make me smile. It is so incredible that you donate all your eggs to a nonprofit organization to feed the families in your area. That warms my heart. Good job. I get you shouldn't have, Judy, you need to get your donkey out of that farm. That's what I get. And it hurts me to get bullied by people that I don't know, but it don't really like, I'm like, whatever, whatever. But it does hurt me terribly because another content creator, whether they're bigger than me or smaller than me, they know what it's like to have a viral video and get beat up. In my, this, I'm going to read you this. Karen, I think I put it on YouTube. Let's see if I can even find it. I may have deleted it. Oh, I'll go to YouTube. Listen to this comment. You know what, lady? Wait, I gotta. You know what, lady? You need to be smarter than your animals. Those little donkeys are cougar killers and can kill your little goats. And nobody that has goats has a 4x4 wire. Duh. Because they get their head stuck in them and then the coyotes eat them while they're stuck. I mean, come on. I don't know I'd ever put a goat with a donkey. I mean, really, if you're going to be a farmer, how about reading a book? And that right there, folks, is the perfect example of my summer reading program. I want to tell you a story. When I first got chickens, when you first get chickens, or when you first get any hobby or something, you start Googling, right? Or you start finding pages that have similar, like I started Googling, or, not Googling, I started going to find different pages that had chickens because I wanted to learn more about them. Well, as I started growing, I started my first part of becoming a farmer, or I started selling chickens. And I went and got certified because you have to be certified to ship eggs across the state line. So I went and got my certification and that's how I started growing as a social media person, is because people knew to buy chickens from Judy. I had Silkies, I had Polish, and people were getting to know me. I didn't know anybody in Coleman. I had no friends. So I started developing relationships with people that had chickens. And it was the same way as I've developed a relationship with you. I'd never seen these people in person. But I could tell you what, like, I'm going to say I had 10 friends. I knew what chickens they raised. If someone called me and said, "Hey, I want a showgirl," I knew who to refer them to because I knew nothing about these friends other than chickens. And I loved it. They became my best friends. There was one girl in particular, okay? She sold silkies and showgirls and rabbits. As a matter of fact, Fluffy May came from her. I've had Fluffy May for 6 years, my rabbit. I got to be really good friends with her. She had like 3,000 people following her. She was a well-known chicken person. I knew nothing about her other than her chickens. I love that. I love that we didn't sit and talk about problems. We never talked about problems. It was always fun conversations because we go, "Hey, did you see this chicken?" Or, "Hey, oh my." When I got Queso, my tortoise, I got actually 2 tortoises that day because the lady had 2. Well, I couldn't keep 2. I actually traded Fluffy May for a tortoise. This girl I looked up to because she had been doing chickens a lot longer than me. But over the past year or two, I had about 10 friends that were like that. We just I called them my chicken friends. That's what I called them. Okay. Well, as my farm started growing and I started doing tours, I became a business. I had to go get a business license. And that's where kind of Sneed's Farmhouse began. Well, I became a nonprofit. And all my chicken friends started bullying me. That particular girl that I was talking about that I thought so much up, that I put up on a pedestal and I looked up to, she quit answering my text messages. And I was like, I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like, why is she not answering my text messages? Then all of a sudden, after a couple of times, I said, "What is wrong? Why aren't you answering my text messages?" She said, "I'm not a fan of your nonprofit gig." And being a people pleaser, my heart broke. She made me feel as though I had done something wrong. I was heartbroken. As a matter of fact, all 10 chicken friends started judging me, bullying me. As a matter of fact, there was this one Facebook page. I can't even, North Alabama Chicken Group or something like that. I was very known on that page because I sold chickens. They blocked me. I no longer was allowed to be on that page because I was becoming a nonprofit and they weren't fans of what I was doing. I got bullied something awful. And I went from having friends in North Alabama back to having 0 friends. I had my feelings hurt really bad. When it comes to being a farmer, I told Shane, I don't fit the mold. I don't fit in at all. I don't. I don't fit in on social media with other creators. I do not. They don't like me. Majority of people, I don't fit the mold. And for the longest time, I was like, why? Why don't I fit in? Because I have always been the type of person that I have fit in everywhere I go. I can find my place. But when it comes to this farming and content creator world, I don't fit in. I don't. So, in the beginning of my children's program, they're going to learn that I started getting bullied after I started selling chickens. Because one of my chicken friends, y'all, I love this girl so much that I invited her to my dad and my stepmom have a beach house that they live at. Okay. It is a massive house. Okay. It has an elevator. It's pretty big. Okay. But it has an elevator because my grandmother lived with them and my grandmother couldn't walk. My grandmother was in a wheelchair. So in order to get my grandmother back and forth to the doctor, they put in a elevator. The reason is because my dad's house got destroyed in a hurricane, like flattened. Well, the insurance company made my dad build his house up on, is it called stilts? So you know how beach houses are built up on stilts, right? Well, when you have a grandmother that's in a wheelchair, you have no choice but to put an elevator in because the house is on stilts. My grandmother can't walk up the steps. So I invited this chicken friend to go with me to the beach. That's how much I thought of her. I loved her. I thought she was just like me. And I invited her to go to my dad's with me for the week. Well, to make a long story short, I don't even, to this day, I have no idea why she hates me, but she hates me. And her words were that I was a rich girl. That I had everything that I had because I had a rich husband and a rich family. I'm sitting there thinking, does she see that, like, because as my farm was growing, I was getting chicken money because I was selling chickens. Well, I wasn't using my chicken money. My chicken money was a hobby. I wasn't using it to pay my power bill. I was using my chicken money to buy more animals and to buy a chicken village. Every chicken coop that is out in the farm, I paid for with my chicken money. Okay. Well, as I started growing, she was seeing me get alpacas and goats and pigs. I was using my chicken money to pay for all that. Well, she said her exact words was, she's a rich girl. She lays on the couch and gets 100 thrown at her and eats bonbons. I didn't even know what a bonbon was. Bonbon is little ice creams, okay? This girl that was becoming what I thought the best chicken friend ever was saying these things about me. So in my children's program, they learned that as I was getting bigger in Sneed's farmhouse, people started bullying me. And part of the children's program is, what does Aunt Judy do when she gets bullied? And what I tell the kids to handle bullies is, go get a pen and a piece of paper and write down what they say about you. So they say I'm a rich girl and my husband gives me hundreds while I sit on the couch and get bonbons thrown at me. So what song plays? Oh, wait. So I get a pen, I get a paper, I write down what they say about me. Then I go to my phone and find lyrics to a song, and I sing as loud as I can, whether I can sing or not. And I play, oh, she's a rich girl and she's gone too far. And you know it doesn't matter anyway. You can rely on your old man's money. You can rely. You know that song? Okay. I sing that song. So the kids learn that I turned bullying into a story. Just like when I got bullied here on YouTube, when this lady was talking about that I had no business filming with greasy hair. She didn't say it once. She said it every single video that I posted. You have no business filming with greasy hair. So what did I do? I name my hair after her when I have a bad hair day. I say, I have Cynthia hair. Because this girl named Cynthia that's no longer with us kept talking about me filming with greasy hair. So I just named my hair after her. When people say I'm a rich girl and my husband throws hundreds at me, I go find a song about them. And I use it to teach children how to deal with bullies. It doesn't mean that when people bully you, that you don't get sensitive to it. It hurts. It's mean. It's ugly. And sometimes I am like Ellie and I have to ignore comments. But how do I build relationship with the good people if I don't read the comments? But how do you not let bullying get you? Well, as time went on, I tell you that I don't fit the mold of being a farmer. Let's talk about it. I am weird, okay, when it comes to farming. First of all, what farmer gets up, goes live at 7 o'clock, and puts on her makeup? No farmer but me. Okay. I don't fit the mold. Why am I putting on my makeup in the morning at 7 o'clock? because I'm probably the only farmer that has buses pulling in her driveway or cars pulling in her driveway to do tours. That's why. I don't want to be in somebody's first grade book for their first field trip, a picture with Aunt Judy looking like who to thunk it. I want to be presentable. That's why I get ready in the mornings, because it's the only time I can go live, because I work my butt off. So I have to go live at 7 o'clock in the morning while I'm putting on my makeup, because I have buses or cars pulling in the driveway at 10 o'clock in the morning. But people that don't see me and they just come across my page, I look like some jackleg that's putting makeup on, and I'm a farmer. I don't fit the mold. I don't. So if you're scrolling through YouTube to find somebody to follow and you see me putting on my makeup in the mornings and I'm a farmer, they're like, I am not sitting and watching this jackleg put on her makeup. Why is that farmer putting on her makeup? I'm hard to get to know. I am. Let's keep going. Because I've never owned a farm in my life, let's just talk about Leroy. I had goats, right? I think I had Dexter and I had goats when I had goats and I had Dexter when I got Leroy. Leroy was a little bitty boy, tiny. Leroy has always been with donkeys. Always. Okay? To the average farmer, even farmers that are creators, okay? To the average farm, you don't have donkeys with goats, because donkeys can kill goats. So these creators that are commenting on my video, I'm sure they mean well. They're probably not trying to be ugly to me. They're trying to warn me. You don't need to have your donkeys with goats. Instead of private messaging me, they do a comment. That's why I don't have my donkeys. I have my donkeys separated. And then what happens when there's a creator that's bigger than me? Other people go, oh, did you see? Oh, such and such would never do that. They would never. They know their animals. They would never do that. And it gives me a bad name. Oh, Judy over there, she's got her donkey with her goats. I don't fit the mold. I don't. I look like the jackleg that's not a farmer that has her donkey with her goats. I do. So the bullying starts because I put on my makeup in the mornings. I have my donkey with my goats. Let's keep going. Most people try to help me. I don't think they're being ugly. Do you know that this other creator, their donkey killed their alpaca? And then comments go like wildfire because most people read comments. And they're like, oh, yeah, I saw that. Such and such's donkey killed their alpaca. And they're warning me. I don't fit the mold. I don't. What happened with me was I got a farm and I didn't know any better. And I got all my animals and I put them in a fence. And people started coming to my farm as I was doing tours. And of course, they were farmers. And they were like, you have your donkey with your goats? Yes. You have a bull, an intact bull? Yes. You feed that bull out of your hand in front of him? Yes. And I'm like, why are they saying this to me? Why are people saying this to me? I didn't know any better. But every one of my animals, besides Georgia Lee, Rio, and Boyfriend. Georgia Lee and Rio are my alpacas. They were grown, and Boyfriend was grown. Everybody else I raised. Well, when people were starting to come to my farm, they almost started bullying me. I remember in particularly, this one man this was a birthday party. And this man, he was an older man, and he was a cattle farmer. So what does that mean? It meant that he raised cattle to go to a sale. Okay. I will never forget this day. I'm at the birthday party, and in front of the whole entire birthday party, he goes, little girl, you have no business out there with a bull. And I just sat there and I was like, I don't fit the mold of a farmer. I do not fit the mold. He goes, no farmer in their right mind would be out there like that. And I remember as these things kept being said to me, I was like, why? People mean well, but they come across as a bully. Farmers that have a cattle farm, they raise their animals for food. That is totally different from the way my animals are raised. Why will my pig let me lay on her? Because I raised her and I taught her that. I wanted to lay on my pig. Now, Freddie and Boyfriend won't let me lay on them because I've never tried. I've always just laid on Shishi. Shishi will let me straddle her. Dexter will lick me in the face. Mickey will kiss me on the lips. Why? because they don't know any different. Because I raised them. And when people bully me on social media and they say I'm not a farmer, I do not fit the mold of being a farmer. Farmers do not lay on their pigs. Farmers don't want their bull to lick them in the face. Farmers do not lay on their bull and sing them a song. Farmers do not sing to their turkeys. Farmers do not take turkeys on rides in the side-by-side. Farmers do not tell their goats to get their shoes on and the goat goes, runs, and jumps in the car. Farmers do not take their goats through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A and order them lettuce. They don't. They take their job very, very seriously. Same with chickens. Judy, you have all these chickens and you let the public on your property I don't fit the mold of being a farmer. I don't. I'm very confusing when you watch me. Because farmers don't do that. So I get on a lot of people's nerves because I treat my animals the way that I do. They're my babies. They are trained. Does that mean an accident cannot happen in my farm? No. It can happen, and it can happen. Leroy could kill one of my alpacas. Leroy could kill a donkey. The bull could kill me. It could happen. I'm very careful, but that doesn't mean that Dexter can't kill me. He could. I don't fit the mold of being a farmer. A lot of people do not like me. That's why they call the USDA on me. That's why they're calling the animal control on me, because they don't like me. I don't fit the mold. When you're searching for a homesteader or you're searching for a farm and you see me, it's very confusing. This girl is going live in the mornings at 7 a.m. and her bull is licking her in the face. She is out there laying on a pig. So in my children's program this summer, they learned that I start getting monetized, paid on social media one day. And I wake up and I'm like, I'm getting paid. I didn't even know you could get paid, okay, on Facebook. I have no idea. All of a sudden, I started getting a paycheck. And I was like, what? And so they learned that. But they also learn that there's a price to being a creator. And that is the fact that you get bullied. And people start saying that I'm not a farmer. So when Judy gets bullied, what does Aunt Judy do? She goes and she gets a pen and she gets a sheet of paper and she writes down, people say I'm not a farmer. And then she goes and she finds the lyrics that match what people are saying about her. So what song do I sing? Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got a feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared, I guess I'll fall out my chair. And I'm wondering how I get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am stuck in the middle with you. They began to learn that I get stuck in the middle of being a farmer and being a content creator and not being a farmer. And being a creator, it's one thing for people to bully me that just some random person that sees me putting on my makeup on social media. Why do you wear that stuff? Like, like it's one thing for that to happen, but it's a whole new level when you have another creator that never comments on any of your stuff that you didn't even know followed you because you've never seen them comment, you've never seen them like, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they start telling me that I'm wrong for having my donkey in my farm with my goats. Well, I wonder what it is I should do. It's so hard to keep the smile from my face, 'cause I'm tolling all over the place. I got clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am stuck in the middle with you. It's so hard to keep a smile on my face when I have other creators, whether they're smaller or larger than me, saying that to me and not going, "Hey, girl, I see you. I see what you're doing for your community." Man, getting out there doing a summer reading program to these children, teaching about bullying, about what it takes to be a farmer and what people say about you, you are amazing. I don't get that. I get you have no business having your donkey in your farm. Or, hey, I saw that you're using this medication. You're going to kill your animals. Did you? Okay, thank you. Thank you. But have you seen anything positive that I've done? The only time you ever comment is when you see something I'm doing wrong. Do you see anything that I'm doing right? Do you see that I am in the libraries, doing field trips, doing tours, talking about mental health? Do you see any of that? Is all you see that I'm giving the wrong wormer? I realize that I don't fit the mold of being a farmer because my page is so different from other people. Other people, majority of the people that you follow are not open to the public. Majority of the people that you follow will not go into the library and talk about what it's like to be a YouTube to these young people that dream of being a YouTuber because they don't have time for that. I'm different. And I sit here and I think about what it's like to be different. And I think about like children that go through what I'm like, children in high school that get bullied. I know I'm running out of time. Children that are in high school that get bullied about you don't fit in this crowd. I have the opportunity to use not fitting the mold of being a YouTuber or a farmer. I have the opportunity to teach these kids to be themselves and not let people bully you. You shouldn't be using a 4x4 fence. Duh. It's so funny because a 4x4 fence is for goats. Chambers, where I go to that sells farm equipment, he commented and he was like, does this lady know that 4x fencing is for goats? Like, you might be the type that gets bullied. You might be the type that gets bullied from your own family. Hey, nobody reads your stuff. Hey, you shouldn't be talking about that on social media. Why do I keep pushing on? My ear looks like it's huge. Why do I keep on keeping on? Well, at the end of my program, people are going to learn that I can't do what I do without you. Who is you? It's the backup dancers. I can't do what I do without you because you guys are the backbone to me. You know me. You know my heart. You know everything about me. Why? Because I tell you. Because I'm raw and I'm real. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't tell you that my marriage is all warm and fuzzy. I don't tell you that it's like the most fantastic thing being a YouTuber. I tell you the raw, real things about life. It's hard. It's depressing sometimes. And how do I get with it? I have to put tools in my pocket to get through life. And at the end of the program, I play So Let's Dance. Because I can't be who I am because I get bullied all the time. And I do not fit the mold. But you keep me going. Sometimes people tell me, like, Judy, you make such a difference in my life. No, you don't get it. You make a difference in my life. You have no idea. Sometimes you might not feel important. Let me just tell you. The people that show up, the people on my replays, the people that comment, I see, girl, boy, I see you. I'm recognizing your names. You make a difference in my life. And I thank you. And I thank you for encouraging me and not bullying me and not wanting me to be anybody but Aunt Judy. Thank you. So today is Monday and you have a choice. You can sit it out. And sometimes when we comment or we say something, we don't mean to bully. Sometimes opinions come across as bullying. It does. Sometimes only noticing the bad things you do or the wrong things you do comes across as bullying. Dancing is going, hey, girl, I see you. Hey, you're making a difference in so many people's lives. So many times creators need to hear, or people, you, don't you want to hear the good thing? You're like, oh, is all I do is bad things? Like all I do is not cook good. I can't do nothing right. Is there anything that I do right? That's dancing. Telling someone something good. Noticing someone's good qualities go a long way. So you have that choice today. Are you going to notice everything that they don't do right? Or are you going to notice what they do right? And telling someone what they do right goes a long way. Love you guys. I'll see y'all Wednesday. Bye.